Hello, hi, how are you? My name is Paige and this is my YouTube channel, Asparagus Reading, where I sometimes talk about books and other things. If you've been around my channel for a little while, you probably noticed I've been absent. I haven't really been posting. I'm on hiatus, mainly just because YouTube content creation really hasn't been bringing me as much joy as it used to, and also just found a lot of other hobbies and passions that I'm way more interested about. School also took over, but mainly other passions or anything. But I am back for this video just because I'm really excited to announce that I'm co-hosting a readathon, and I just want to talk about it and share the information with you all. So I apologize if you're like excited to see me and then I disappear. I do not plan to be returning at this current moment, so there's that. 2, if you can hear any noises in the background, I am so sorry. My family is all doing various tasks around the house. And so that alone is noise, but also we're the type of family that has to be listening or watching something while we're doing a task. I did test record. I didn't hear anything myself, but just in case it does pop up anyways, I'm sorry. Anyways, let's move on from me and let's get into the good stuff, the announcement, the goods that you're here for. So welcome, warriors. If you're familiar with Breath of the Wild, you know that this is a readathon inspired by a game called Breath of the Wild. If you are new to it, then I can tell you a little bit about it, but I won't go too much into it. I don't want to give incorrect information because I am not a creator. If you would like more information about the readathon, I will give all the links and descriptions for all of that down below. So the Breath of the Wildathon is a series of readathons that happens every single year. I believe this year is the 3rd year. Each year there are 2 rounds. The first one is the Great Plateau, which is about a week-long mini round. And the second one is the main round, which is about a month long. And that is the team-based one, which I'll be announcing and talking about today. So the readathon was created by Kaz from Little Book Owl and Red from Little Red Reader, and that was created about 3 years ago. It's a readathon, again, inspired by the game Breath of the Wild. So this round, which is the Vah Medoh Quest 3.0, warriors will be joining on one of 4 teams. We have the Team Urbosa, we have Team Rivali, we have Team Mipha, and we have Team Daruk or Daruk. I apologize if I pronounce his name wrong. I don't play the games, but I do enjoy the readathon. So like I said, this will be team-based. Kaz is Zelda, Red is Link, I'll be championing Team Mipha, Rochelle will be championing Team Urbosa, Jay will be championing Team Daruk, and Charlene will be championing Team Rivali. So each of the teams are going to be going on different paths, and there'll be different perks and different quests for each of those teams. Each team has to complete 5 prompts, but there are also 3 bonus prompts, which we'll get into in a second. So for each team, there are 5 prompts. However, there are 2 in those 5 that are slightly different from the other teams. So I'm gonna be talking about Team Mipha's prompts here. If you would like to know more about a different team, because maybe that's a team you want to participate on, or maybe you want to see if those prompts fit you better, obviously, please check out the other co-hosts and their announcement, or even just check out Kaz's announcement and all of the Discord, and I think maybe a Google Doc and the website. All the information will be there. It will be down in my description or obviously in the description of Kaz's video. So for Team Mipha, there are the 5 prompts, and the first one is Death Mountain. Read a book with red or orange on the cover. So for this prompt, I'm going to be reading The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. I know this is a mystery thriller about a woman who is not the most reliable person, and she's just like depressed, I guess, maybe. I can't remember the word of it. Like, you're a recluse, you stay in your house. I can't remember what the name of that is. Severe paranoia and anxiety, and one day she's looking out her window and she sees, I believe, a neighbor's wife is being murdered or she goes missing. And so when she tries to report that, it doesn't go very well because they don't think that the wife is murdered or missing. The wife that they're familiar with does not fit the description that she's giving. They don't believe her because of her past history, I think, with alcohol and drug abuse and just other things that's gone on in her life. And so it's a very like messy thriller of her trying to figure out, like, you know, am I seeing things? Like, am I actually crazy? Like, or are they saying, is that the right thing? Or am I the right person and they're all crazy and lying? I know there's a movie. I did watch the movie. I know Amy Adams is in it. Love her. Cannot tell you a single thing about the movie. Don't remember what happened. Don't remember what the twist was. Don't know what the ending was. So I'm really excited to finally get into this and to discover, you know, what I think about the book. And I will be buddy reading this with a friend. So the second prompt for Team Mipha is Korok Forest. Read a book with a 1-word title. And so this prompt, I'm going to be reading Eidolon, which is book 2 in the Radiance series. I don't think it's called Radiance series, but that's what I know it as. It is a fantasy romance series by Grace Draven that follows Rishin and Ildiko. So they're both royalty, but they're not like top of the chain royalty. And in the first book, the two of them are engaged to be married, you know, a political marriage where they make you get married for good things for their kingdoms, to work on alliances, blah, 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 blah. So the two of them, their races are different. He is a Kai and she's a human. The Kais and humans typically don't get along, typically don't like each other. But these two are getting married and people kind of pity them. And they both don't really know what to expect to go into the marriage. They're really just hoping that the two of them could just cohabitate and really work together to do what they need for their kingdoms, kind of live on their own. What they don't expect to happen is that they form a friendship and they have a deep understanding and respect for each other and a genuine wish and care for the other's success and their kingdom's success and the care and health and happiness of each other's people, which eventually blossoms into a friendship and then a romance. This is, at least the book one, I don't know about book two because I haven't read it, but I know book one is very romance and politics heavy. So if you do like a little bit more plot, a little bit more war, a little bit more politics for your fantasy romance, this series has it. So the third prompt for Team Mipha, in the order of our path, of course, is the Blood Moon prompt. So this is a prompt that you will have to do a random number generator to get your prompt. So on the Breath of the Wild website, which again will be linked down below, there is a tab, a section, or a page on the website that is called Blood Moon cards. You're going to need to somehow generate a number between 1 and 10. So use a number, use Siri, use Google, use a dice, whatever you like to use. And whatever number you get between 1 and 10, choose the corresponding card, and that will be your reading prompt. So I did this earlier because I needed to use my devices to record this video, so I can't do it now. And I got prompt 7, which I believe is read a book over 500 pages. And the book that I'm going to be reading for that is A Heart of Blood and Ashes by Mila Vane, which is book 1 in a Gathering of Dragons series. This is a series that Ava, also known as Avery from Ava's Romance Books, has talked about before. I remember her talking about it in a video. I think even Riley Marie talked about it in a video. And they both seem to really enjoy it. And I don't remember what it was exactly that they said, but whatever it is they said sold me. It was immediately on my TBR, immediately in my cart. And recently I found both of them on Penguin Books for like really cheap. And I was like, purchase. But here I am weeks later, don't remember what exactly it was that they said that really sold me on it and made me want to read it immediately. And so instead of doing the obvious thing is going back and finding out, I'm gonna go in blind and see, you know, what this world has that was so compelling and so loved by readers and why it was being raved about the time that I saw those reviews. But I think it will be a 5-star possibly, just because a lot of books that I've read recommended by Avery I've really enjoyed, and so I honestly assume this will be one of those. So the fourth prompt is South Tabantha Snowfield. Read a book with snow on the cover, and this was just perfect because book 2 in this series has snow in the title and on the cover, and that is A Touch of Stone and Snow. So obviously I don't know what goes on in book 2 because I haven't read book 1. I don't know if it's the same characters. I don't know if it's a whole different set of characters, a different plot, a different location. I will find out once I read book 1. But these two books combined is about 900 pages, which is honestly kind of wild. But I'm also like intrigued. Look, I'm just very intrigued by what's going on. There is a third book, which I didn't realize until recently when I was looking at these for the page count. There's a third book. So I need to go get the third one because if I really like this, I'm gonna want to read it immediately. And the final required prompt is when we finally reach the Divine Beast Vah Medoh. Read a book with the air buzzwords. So this needs to have air in the title or a related word in the title. I'm gonna be reading When Breath Becomes Air. I do believe this is like a non-fiction memoir, kind of like a diary about the author. And he was very used to working on patients that were potentially dying or will die, and he couldn't do much with them. He often saw patients that had cancer and other diagnoses, and one day he became one of those patients. I believe he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and so I think the book is detailing his time coming to terms with becoming the doctor to the patient, how that felt for him, for his family, how his relationship with his career and his friends and family changed, how his life changed, maybe just, you know, certain questions that come up when that is a diagnosis you have. Obviously, there's certain things you start thinking about, things that you decide to start doing a little faster now that you have less time that you believe to have. Just using it as a guide to other people, communicating with other people, communicating with the world, with his wife. And so I do believe it's going to be a very powerful, emotional novel just because of the subject. And also just because I do believe he kind of talks outwardly to his peers and his wife. I'm very excited to get that. That I don't own physically. I don't own it all. I'm going to be getting from my library. So now there are 3 bonus prompts, are optional. You don't have to do these. The first prompt is Hebra North Summit. Read one of your highest rated books in your TBR. This, I have no idea what my rated TBR is. I think last time I checked, it was LC Silver books, and I'm currently reading all of those. So I don't know what's after that. I want to say maybe it was Percy Jackson, but that I think I'm gonna push off for another month just because I've participated in so many buddy reads and read-alongs. I don't think I'm able to give that the full capacity and energy that I really want to because I have been loving the series. The second bonus prompt is North Lomé Labyrinth. Read a book in a new reading spot. So now I typically read in my bed, at my desk, on the floor, dining room, on the couch. Like, I'm always with a book, whether it's a physical book, ebook, audio. I always have a book on me for just that moment that I can sit there because I don't really watch TV anymore. I tend to just put on YouTube or read. Even when I'm gaming, if I'm playing solo, I'll put on an audiobook. If I'm sitting in the passenger seat of the car, I'm probably reading. If I'm sitting in the waiting room, I'm probably reading. If I'm sitting waiting for someone to pick them up, I'm probably reading. If I'm brushing my teeth, probably got an audiobook on. Like, I'm always reading. So I think this would be a very interesting one to find a new reading spot. I think within my house, I'll probably say the basement. I don't think I read very much there. Maybe outside, which I think would be kind of good just because I've been trying to get more steps in, get more movement. Now that I'm not in school, my routine has changed and I feel like I haven't been getting as much movement in throughout my days. I could probably do something outside, read outside, and maybe like get some steps in while I'm out there. Maybe work on the garden, something like that. It is a tricky one just because I tend to read anywhere and everywhere I can. And for the third bonus prompt is Rito Village. Participate in a Fang and Bone challenge. So Fang and Bone challenges are like randomly generated, not really generated, like randomly created and posted challenges. These are hosted in Discord, and these challenges can be very quick and easy. It can be something like post your currently reading page, or what was the last book that you read for the readathon and what was your thoughts, or share your TBR. Something very simple, very easy, which I think anyone could complete. Obviously, again, please join the Discord and check the Discord because that is where they are posted. So earlier I did mention that each team has a perk. So each team has an individual perk that is only for them. For Team Mipha, the perk is that one book can count for 2 challenges. So say this book happens to be really high in the ratings. I could use this for that bonus prompt and for the snow prompt. There are also 2 other perks called the horse and the glider perk. These you would have acquired from completing previous prompts and previous challenges. I'm just popping in here to correct what I said in the video. If you have the horse prompt, you would have completed all 3 bonus challenges during the quest main round. And if you have done that twice, you would be able to start 4 days early because you would have 2 horses. If you've done that once, you'd be able to start 2 days early because you have 1 horse. And for the glider prompt, you would have gotten that from completing all 5 rune challenges during the Great Plateau mini round. If you're interested in getting these 2 perks, you can participate in the previous challenges on your own time and try to catch up and just mark and save that you have that for later, or continue participating in this readathon and future ones to acquire those perks. So now if you're looking for anything like some reading sprints or a live show, I do believe we're going to be hosting some between YouTube and Discord, probably mainly Discord, just because I don't think all of us are active on YouTube at the moment. So if you are looking for reading sprints, I highly suggest, again, checking out the Discord, because I think that's where we're going to be the most active for the readathon. And if you don't want readathon specific reading sprints, obviously you can find someone else who's hosting reading sprints on Twitch or YouTube at any moment. So I do believe that is everything I have to share with you today. I'm sorry if that was a lot of information. I do hope I did justice and gave a lot of that very well. Of course, I didn't give everything, like all of the prompts, all of the perks, because this is mainly for Team Mipha. But if you're interested in learning more about the other teams the other hosts, and everything that we're going to be doing. Again, check the links in the description because I'll be leaving links to the announcement videos, to the announcement posts, to the website that has more of the information. I'll put the Discord down there. Everything that I can, I'll put it down there. And I might even type up some of the information down there if that makes it easier for you as well. So thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I hope you participate, and if you do, I hope you have a lot of fun. I hope to see you there. Maybe you'll be on Team Mipha with me. Thank you, Kaz, for inviting me to co-host. I'm very excited to participate. With that being said, again, check my description for more information. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day, night, or whatever time zone it is where you are, and I'll catch you next time.